I was born in Middle East. As a child, I didn't have to be worried about what I need to eat, and everything we needed were provided by our families. When I turned an age of 9, I started being curious about God, about many other important stuff in life. And as I grow up, I start asking questions about God, about prophets, that why we don't have any more prophet, where is God? In the age of 12, I was converted from my old faith to Christianity. My punishment was stoned to death because of my faith. And one of my family members made a way that I skip the country in a very young age and skip the punishment of being stoned to death. And I traveled to India, and I lived in India as a refugee. That converts from old faith to the new faith. The punishment is not just to be killed, but slowly being tortured. When I went to India, there was many struggles. I was hungry for several days. I didn't have food, I didn't have clothes to wear, I didn't have a rent, a place to live, or pay for my rent, or pay for my expenses. I started wondering that how can I provide for myself? It's a very big sin for those people that converts from old faith to the new faith. The punishment is not just to be killed, but slowly being tortured day by day till you die. And in the age of 15 years old, I had lost my 3 beautiful daughters that were killed in front of my eyes. And the reason that they went to suffering for me to say that I am not in the faith that I was. And not knowing that what was my real sin, it was a very hard challenge emotionally, because you feel so alone and you feel left alone and no one is there to listen to you. And there are many people that dislike and they don't want to welcome you to their country. They stone you, they throw stuff, objects to you to go back to your country. By the time when I turned 16, I had a son, and I needed to provide food for him. Seeing him suffering from hunger for a couple days, it was very hard. It was a very hard challenge for me. And I used to go and grab bread or piece of bread or in the trashes to find the food for my son and for myself. And yet, if you have your PhD, if you have your high education, but if you are a refugee in a different country, you're not valuable and you cannot practice your education or you can apply to any job because you are considered as an illegal person. So it is a very tough journey by not finding a way to provide for yourself. And yet, many of them couldn't handle to see their children suffering from hunger. So they poisoned the children and they poisoned themselves And yet many times they offered to me and to my son as well. But I didn't want to do that. And yes, I was very independent in a young age. I was always sharp and I wanted to provide for myself. I did not seek to rely on other people to feed me. But if there was a way for me to practice my education or work, perhaps even for 10 penny per day, I would have done that. But unfortunately, there were never opportunity for us as a refugee. Being a single woman over there, when you suffer with the hunger, there are a lot of people that will show you many wrong options to sell your body, perhaps. But yet, I never walk in those paths, but I cannot say that I never been tempted to do that, to be able to provide for my son a meal. And there were many times that he ended up fainting, and so do I. As a young child, as a young single mother, my hope, my goal was to practice my education, because my whole family, they all had education. One was doctor, one was teacher, one was professor, and one was engineer. So I always seek to do my education and to be reliable on myself and to work. But unfortunately, because being a illegal or a refugee in second country, you are not allowed to work or attend any public school. They welcome you to come to that country to be alive, but there is no way for you to practice your education or provide for your family. A refugee's life doesn't have any value. Trash might have more value than a refugee person. It doesn't matter if their background is a very high power people or wealthy people or educated people. When you are enter in different country as a refugee, you are nothing and you cannot practice anything and you don't have any right. As I lived a refugee life for almost 10 years, personally, I didn't hope for someone to come and feed me or clothe me. As much I wanted to be viewed as a human. I wanted to be respected. I wanted to be valued as other humans were. And just say that we are here to hear your voice. We are here to clean your tears. That matters the world to them, giving them a hope that their life will be better one day. That matters. And thank you very, very much.